Good evening, everyone. It's Fredrina with Trinity Professional Group, and we're having our first video of the week. I am so just thankful for everything that I have. I'm thankful for my businesses. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for even being employed at this current time. I'm just so thankful for so many things because there are so many people out here that are worse off than we are, and we have to be thankful for what it is that we do have and give God thanks for those things and the people we have in our lives, right? So I know we should be thankful and grateful every day, but especially on this week, kind of take that time to be intentional about your thanks and be intentional about your awareness of what it is that you have, right? So definitely want to hone in on that for this week. But for this week's topic, we're going to be speaking on company dissection. I actually had a chance to pay attention to something that's going on in the news with a company, and it kind of reflects on the topics that I've been speaking with you all about. The company is actually called OpenAI. They created ChatGPT, and they also created Twitch and a few other subsidiaries that are under them. And this past, I guess about the past 2 weeks, its CEO, Sam Altman, actually was kind of like ousted by the board. He's been on trial for a couple of things, and the board doesn't feel like he would be a good fit to remain as the CEO of the company. So they've ousted him. And I want to speak about, of course, this kind of correlates with my book and kind of some of the things I've been speaking on about leadership, but I want to talk about loyalty. Loyalty can only come from a person who is a true and dedicated leader. To put this into perspective, they have about 770 to right at 800 employees altogether. Over 500 of those employees were willing to put their name, job, lifestyle, everything on the line and be named on a petition to reinstate this man as CEO of their company. Let that sink in for a minute, right? Like, let that sink in. That is absolute loyalty. They believe in their leader. They know the work that he's doing is so beneficial to them and the future of the world, because as we know, AI is about to take over. We just have to all pay attention and see how we can kind of find our own little foothold in there. But they were willing to put their names, their livelihoods, everything on the line to say that this man should be reinstated as CEO. They will follow him wherever he goes, even though that just so happens to be Microsoft, but we'll get into that as well. So, I mean, leadership qualities to the point where people gravitate to you, to the point where they will gravitate to any company you're a part of. They will be willing to put everything on the line because of what you've placed on the line for them, giving them the opportunity to grow and produce and be in an industry that they love. People are willing to do that. But it cannot be done without specific leadership qualities that are in a order that you have people just want to follow you regardless. It's not about just what you're doing. Who you are, what you embody, makes them want to just come on board and stay on board regardless of where you go, and champion for you when you're ousted by others. And so another side of that leadership perspective is going to be the fact that there's a board in charge who also was able to vote out the CEO. So a lot of times when you hear me on my videos, I speak about like floor leadership, your daily supervisors, kind of managers, people who are there for the day-to-day activities. And then you have your upper level leadership, who would be like directors, your C-suite, and things like that. So those are the people who ousted the CEO. But those people made a leadership decision, a conscious decision, a upper management decision to get rid of the CEO. But they did not consider the employees who perform the essential functions. If you've never heard me speak about this, definitely go to my website, trinityprofessionalgroup.com. It is on my homepage. I am clear that you have to remain in tune with the people who perform the functions, regardless of what your current role or position is. You cannot build every chip. You cannot take every sale. You cannot process every order. You cannot be on every Twitch call. So it's so many things that go into it that you need these people there to lift you up, to hold you up, and to hold the company up as well. So with this situation, like I said, those 500 plus employees who are willing to put their name on the line and go against the upper management, the upper leadership, this is crucial. This is a stance where the company's culture, the company idea, the company's stance on things is so concrete that the people have bought into this so hard, the employees at least have bought into this so hard, that they're willing to circumvent the higher leadership. They're willing to go around the people who put most of the procedures in place and go with the person who founded the company, because they believe in him and they believe in what it is that he's doing. So when you're a leader, you need to have people who are willing to leave with you. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you need to have people who are so dedicated to you, believe in your vision, have seen proof of that vision and seen how products come from you, so that when they do leave, they don't feel foolish. They know that you'll be able to kind of cradle them in the transition, or even cradle them or carry them to that next phase or area that you're going to. So leadership is a huge, huge deal. And be sure to check out The Conscious Leader when it drops on December 15th. There will be a lot of leadership things in there as well, to really kind of put you in the perspective of what it takes to gain loyalty, what it takes to gain your followers, and to also retain them and have them fight for you in the event that you're absent. So another thing for Sam Walton that kind of flows into the topics that I speak on throughout the weeks is Sam Altman, not Walton, that's Walmart. Sorry, Sam Altman was actually in the process of competing against NVIDIA to create his own chip. Another big deal. So if you know, NVIDIA has had a hold in the market. Stock has caused people or even phone companies to not be able to produce electronics, computers, the whole shebang. They've had the world in a chokehold when it comes to chips and production. So Sam Altman was in a position of what I want all entrepreneurs to be at. You have employees who you trust, and you can have them in position so that you can go and work on the business and not in the business, right? So we talked about that visionary phase, that scoping for the future, that ability to scale, your ability to see things objectively, and then go out and check into the world to see what you can bring back to your company. So he was actually out doing fundraising to create his own chip company and have his own chips. And in the midst of this, the board decided to kind of dismantle him. They didn't want him in position. And he's at a place where he's doing so many things for the company that it just comes back beneficial regardless of who tries to eliminate him, regardless of who tries to remove his name or his value from OpenAI. So when he was able to go out and work on the business, do that networking like I talked about in a few videos before, do that networking, go out and put his pitch out there, kind of gain those funds, gain the ear of some powerful people and move those funds around. He put himself at an advantage to where no matter what he does next, he has allies. Having allies, regardless of what position you take or what stance you have, is crucial to your success, because you can rebound from anything. And then being able to rebound from anything on top of having 500 plus employees at your disposal and ready to go at any given moment, you're lethal. You are a complete weapon. And Sam Altman has mastered this in a form of leadership better than I've ever seen. So I definitely wanted to talk about this video and do that company dissection and tie it into some of the topics we've spoken about, because I feel like it's crucial for you to see it in the real world. Of course, so many bad things happen. So many things happen where companies go out of business, they lose this or they lose that. But in this situation, the leadership was so strong. The leader was so impactful. The leader was so in tune with his company that the people were willing to leave in the event that they don't reinstate him as CEO. And I don't believe they reinstated him. I think Microsoft and him are in some talks, him and his co-founder. They are all in some talks about working for Microsoft, who is going to tie into Thursday's video. And I'm going to show you some more tidbits about how the topics I went over kind of tie into this situation again. But I really want to focus on leadership for this video. Your leadership style, who you are as a leader, it needs to resonate with your team. Your team needs to know who you are. They need to know what they're fighting for, and they need to know that you're clear on what it is that you're doing. Of course, Sam Altman is in tech, so everything he did from there with working on the business was tech related. He's going to find the chips for his AI. He's going to create his own company for the chips for the AI. So everything that he was doing was directly in line with what OpenAI is about. So make sure your team is clear on where you're going, and then when they're clear on where you're going, they'll have your back until the end, right? Okay? So for Adrena at Trinity Professional Group, I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I will see you all on Thursday's video when I finish up a second round of topics and tying into what it is we've spoken about before. Bye, guys.